to our annual general meeting. Um, I hopefully one or two of the other board members will make it tonight. I'm not sure if they can. Um, I want to say, yeah, we had a pretty fun time last year. There were a few change-ups, and as far as who was on the board and what was going on, we're trying to adjust accordingly and handle everything that's needed. But of course, any volunteer and help is always appreciated. Um, but for this meeting, we just wanted to give a quick hello, and this is kind of the areas that we all manage, each and individually, and then, of course, help each other where we can. Um, I was president last year, and I have stepped back to a different role, and Tony Oliver has taken the presidency for our Sacramento Valley chapter, which is fantastic. Um, we will come back to that. We have a list of the different individuals that are on the board and what their focuses are. Once we go through those so that you can get to know the board that's here, we get into the President's Corner, which is speaking to job shadowing and volunteer work that anybody, no matter where they are, can join us. Me personally, I'm in Salt Lake City. Um, then we'll discuss small changes that need to happen to our bylaws. Once we are done with that, we will get into job market update with job openings that our marketing VP will help explore with us. And then we will have open forum Q&A. Whoever has questions, they can just bring them up. And then raffle. And by raffle, I'm speaking of throw your hat in. So go ahead and provide your name and email within the chat so that they can be put into a listing for a raffle that will be happening at the end of this AGM, annual general meeting. So at any point in time, you can go ahead and throw that information in, and Steve will pick it up and coordinate for the raffle. And with that, I wanted to also mention down here at the bottom of the screen and through the other slides as well are our sponsors, which assist our chapter in different ways, whether it's providing locations that in-person events can happen, or potentially actual presenters that would come and speak to our chapter within events, or they are providing some additional services such as assisting with our study group programs. From that, we will take it to Tony.
Thank you. Can everybody see me okay? I just turned on my camera.
I can.
Great, thank you. Well, thank you for attending today and thank you for being part of IIBA and our chapter. As Travis mentioned, I'm honored to be serving as president for the next year. I served as secretary last year and I served as treasurer a few years back. I have been a member on and off for the past about 8 years, and I'm also a member of other organizations. I work as a portfolio manager with CVS Health and specifically within the Medicaid business for Aetna. But I have gone back and forth between project management and business analysis roles for the better part of my career. Prior to CVS, where I've been for 4 years, I was with VSP, much like Travis and Steve. And there I served as a senior business analyst, particularly looking at business process improvement. And during that tenure, I joined IIBA, and I was delighted to attend the many meetings that we had both at Blue Shield as well as at VSP. I'm hoping that we can go back to that level of participation with a combination of in-person meetings as well as virtual meetings. A few of us had the opportunity to meet with our fellow leaders from the Western region today during a phone call, a Zoom call, and we all shared what we plan on doing with our chapters. So the name of the game for 2026 is going to be collaboration, cross collaboration across chapters. And we all, on behalf of the board, we all look forward to getting your perspectives, your ideas, your suggestions, your recommendations, not just in terms of events, but also in terms of what kind of support you would like to see, what kind of insight into the market and the opportunities for business analysts, and so on. And with that, I'll pass it back to you, Travis.
Awesome. So, excuse me. Mouse is touchy. So, yeah, I am still working at VSP, and I've been here for about 12 years. Fortunately, at some point, Tony and I's path had crossed for a few years here at VSP, so that was great. Got to work with him a little bit, got to know him, took a couple lessons or so from him. So fantastic, fantastic presenter. Right now, I am still a VSP. I have moved from the Sacramento area over to Salt Lake City. So a little bit of a drive to to get to any chapter events. Maybe one of these days I will make it back there. We shall see. Um, so yeah, I had taken on the board president position, and then now it has been the torch has been passed to Tony, and he will be leading us, and with the help of the board as well, into different directions to see how we can grow a chapter and help the members as best as possible. With this new membership and communications role, I'll be kind of monitoring and analyzing how many participants have shown up, how our marketing has affected potentially how many people are interested in our chapter and wanting to join our chapter. And I'll be working with the board with whatever else needs to happen as far as membership and communicating out through different channels such as Instagram and Facebook. Um, so on also, as far as membership is concerned, we want to try to inspire people to go ahead and renew their membership before February 3rd, because if you do, then you'll still be getting the lower price because unfortunately, due to inflation and rising cost, IIBA Global will need to raise the cost of membership from currently 139 to 155. So that is something that we want to have you keep in mind as we move through the year. Um, they have said that you can say overlap and so pay again for membership just to keep that lower rate for like another year. Um, And also, as far as membership and payment, they have, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but they have now installed the capability of having auto renewal, which I think can be a very useful, very helpful tip because sometimes you forget to, at least I have forgotten to pay for my membership and it would become lapsed. So that's a great thing if you go into purchase new membership. Yeah, you may want to click that just to make it easier on yourself. I know it's easier for me now. But with that membership, you gain these particular benefits from that, which the PDF copy of the BABOK, which is the Business Analyst Body of Knowledge, which is an in-depth book including a lot of the techniques and practices that are involved in business analysis, and it goes in depth into every intricate possibility and direction that will taking one item and moving it to the next and what interconnects with the other possibilities while you're doing analysis. It's a fantastic, helpful guide when you are working during the day and having to think, okay, well, what would be my next step? Very useful. I've used it myself during the day many times. Um, One of the other things is that you'll get, connect and learn with other professionals. This is one of those things. Some of those events will be online. Hopefully, we could potentially get some in-person events, which will make it much more fun and friendly to kind of interact with other individuals at that event. There are, and this is one of the things that we were speaking on at a regional meeting today, is the digital online library. It's a huge amount of resources. As you see, it has over 11,000 titles that you can go in and freely access and read till your heart's content. Um, In the right corner there, you can see we have over 300, or sorry, not 300, 30,000 members across 160 countries, which that has grown since last year. I believe last year was either 28 or 29,000. So it's fantastic. And you can also see there's a number of certifications that you can get from IIBA International. Um, which can help in growing your resume, your CV, as well as saying, hey, this is what I can do. I've been certified to do this. Check me out. And the last piece that I would
Hey,
say,
Travis, quick thing before we move
yeah,
off of that slide. I want to say for everybody here, we recognize that it's not fun when prices go up. We ourselves, the board members, we mentioned this to IIBA Global. As Travis mentioned, everything's going up, inflation. I do want to point out a couple different things. One is that digital library is amazing. It has not only audiobooks and ebooks, but also access to publications that by themselves, periodicals that is, cost a pretty penny. Stuff like the Harvard Business Review. That's a solid $100 worth right there. So I do encourage everybody, and this is something that we have mentioned to IIBA Global. We need to do a better job. This is the Royal Week, this IIBA, not just the second kind of chapter, kind of talking about those benefits. And 30,000 worldwide members, that's a pretty impressive set of experts that we ourselves as members can tap into and leverage and network. It doesn't matter if they're not in Sacramento. Folks are eager and willing to talk and kind of share best practices from their particular industries. So keep that in mind. Also, ask your employer. Not every employer does it, but ask your employer. You might be able to have your employer pick up the cost of the membership. And it never hurts to ask. Worst they can say is they can say no. I'll pass it back to you.
fantastic. The last bit that I will tell you about tonight is, the numbers as far as members having certifications within our chapter specifically, which this is since the beginning of this year. And it's great. Right there, you see at the top is the CBAP, which is the Certified Business Analyst Professional. That is the highest goal that most people are trying to attain. It has the most in-depth drill in into the BABOK and studying for the questions and what what I would say. Actually, I haven't taken it yet. Um, but this is one of the things that we have created study groups for, and so it would help interact with other people and try to get you prepared to take those type of tests. And from that, I would go ahead and let our treasurer speak into what she has going on, and a little bit of her background and some of the information about our chapter's finances. Trish?
Hi. Yeah, this is Trish Frederick. I'm the treasurer. I've been the treasurer this past year, and I'll continue on doing this year. They were speaking about the CBAP and the certifications that IIBA offers. So before I forget to say anything, I am a CBAP certified person, and it definitely is a tricky test. Of course, I'm a horrible test taker and I'm horrible at studying. Uh, So basically, I'm saying if I can do it, anybody can do it because it was quite tough and it has some um, definitely stringent, requirements for you to apply to sit for the exam, but they're not insurmountable. You probably have more experience maybe than you think you do. And so, yeah, I was like, as I started putting it together, I was like, okay, I actually have, anybody that's been working as an analyst, at least, for 10 years has definitely probably already met a lot of those requirements that need to be met. Um, but yeah, it's definitely something that's, if you're interested in, I think it's worth doing. And especially it's a good thing to have on your resume. You see that a lot in job, um, things that, they like to see that kind of certification. But I work, so real quick, I will step back and I work at Blue Shield. I'm an analyst there. Um, Bob used as the past president, and he also works at Blue Shield. And that's kind of how I got involved, especially when they were doing it on site between Blue Shield and VSP. Kind of, around the office areas, people go, hey, you're going to go to this thing. And that's how I got involved in it. And as far as the treasurer responsibilities go, I report out, what we have taken in from membership, what we've had to spend out, and then do certain reporting for that I have to provide for the IIB Global. And that's all I can think of. If Tony or Travis.
Yep. We'll move us to the next slide, Trish. So these are the financial layouts that we have as far as the beginning of this year. This was our plan for what will be occurring throughout 2026 as far as costs and revenue.
Yeah, so I kind of mentioned that before. The first line is the membership revenue that we get from IIB Global when you sign up and associate yourself with the Sacramento chapter. And then the study groups, we do have study groups, I don't know, a couple times a year, and we have a charge for them, and that's the revenue from it. Um, Sponsorships comes from like one of our sponsors, like Experis and Watermark Learning, especially. Those two are very impactful, and we appreciate their what they do for us. And then the operating expenses of the different stuff that we have to put up with, like the PO box and that kind of stuff. I'm looking real quick, it's kind of small, but just some basic stuff that we do throughout the year. Sometimes we have had, I know last year we had at least one get together on site, and so there are costs for that. And I think that's pretty much it. Let me know if I missed anything.
No, I think you got it right. Yeah, normally right now we would have one in-person, basically board meeting to get together and discuss whatever needs to happen during the rest of the year. It's unfortunately I haven't made it for the last 2 or 3 years, but who knows? Maybe this year. Thank you, Trish. The next item up would be Steve speaking on his past and also being the VP of events.
There we go. Yeah, I've been in this role. I think this is my fourth year. Um, so this is the year that I'm going to start looking for somebody to teach to take over for next year. Um, I've been at VSP for 11 years. Most of those years, I've been an analyst of some kind. Right now, I'm a senior business data analyst, and I'm hoping to go for my CBDA certification. Before that, I worked for Sprint for 17 years, also as a analyst in various, workforce management, staffing, planning, that kind of stuff. Let's see, how about let's see, I have my bachelor's degree. I got my Six Sigma, Green Belt Six Sigma at VSP. When Tony was there, he was actually my trainer certifier. Okay, next one.
Sure.
There we go. Um, so we basically do events the third Wednesday of every month. We usually skip June and December just for summer and Christmas, but we try to do like in-person social events at least once or twice a year. I've got the next few dates loaded on there. I've got feelers out to our usual suspects of speakers, but if anybody knows somebody that wants to speak or you want to speak, certainly let me know. I think we're going to go through the IIBA website a little bit later, but on the global IIBA site, you've got, like on the screenshot here, upcoming member webinars. They have some really good events for IIBA members. There's also a section in there for non-members, so the public webinars. And then there's a third section for all the chapter events in the entire, I'll say world, for all the international chapters that post their events. You can usually sign up for those. Most of those are free. I've done one that was in a whole other country. I think for me, it was 6 o'clock at night. For them, it was like noon the next day. So, but you can get all kinds of interesting, perspectives from the different chapters all over the world. We do have on our website YouTube channel that we record almost all of our events and post those there. So I think if you went there now, you'd see at least 3 or 4 years worth of events. From time to time, we'll have somebody with proprietary content that we can't. So, but yeah, there's my email address there. If anybody wants to volunteer for something or has questions about events or knows a speaker, wants to be a speaker, let me know.
Yeah, please join. Thank you, Steve. Next up will be Diana. She's our VP of Education and Professional Certification.
Hey, hello everyone. Yeah, as Travis said, I'm the VP of Education and Certification. This is my second full year doing it. So I've been working in the VA space for a little bit over 10 years. So mainly the domains have been like healthcare, government, managed care, and also just project management and website development for the project management for websites. So one of the main responsibilities as the education VP is to run the study groups that we have. We had one study group last fall, and so we're going to hold another one. I think the next slide will have the information about it. So we're going to run another one starting in April of this year. So if you're interested in obtaining your BABOK-based certifications, whether it's the ECBA, the CCBA, or the CBAP. So one of the things with the BABOK guide is it's very, it's very dense. It's over 500 pages. So the study group, they provide a structured way of going through the material that's in the BABOK guide. And then also there are different people that you can work with as you go through the study group to get the professional experience from everyone, different people's perspectives. Also, the study group has the mock questions that we go through. So we go through the questions, we discuss everything that would basically pertain to the guide, but then also we also have some time questions, so it helps with the actual test management and trying to do mock tests. So if you're interested in it, you can email the email address, the education at sacramento.iiba.org. I can give you any information about it. And if you have any questions about it. Also, one of the good things about the study group is that it does provide professional development hours, which is what you need to qualify to sit for any IIBA based exams. So this next one that we're doing, it provides 14 of the professional development hours that would be needed to sit for any of those exams. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.
Yeah, thank you. And I have gone to a couple of the study groups, and they have always been educational. I was with the study group last year with Diana. It was fantastic. It provided a different way for me to look at the information and how I do business analysis during the day. Thank you, Diana. I would probably say I think VP of Communications, Marketing, Sponsorship, that would be the role that's coming up next, which is Vu.
Hi everyone, my name is Vu Nguyen. I've been with this lovely crew for I think about 3 years, but time is flying by with this great crew. So excited to be celebrating my third year. I represent Experience IT, which is one of the main sponsors here. I think IIBA and Experience have had a long history together of sponsoring different events, marketing, pushing out the membership and the team as well to get more membership driven. But it's the team game, so everyone here, obviously, please do reach out to your network in the IIBA space or the BA space and tell them to join. There's a lot of great benefits, obviously, with the study group, as Tony mentioned, the website with all the documentation and all the things that it provides. Experience also on our end, what we like to provide here at IIBA is market update on what's going on. We post job postings within the IIB website, as well as if you join these meetings, you get first insight on upcoming roles that Experience has around the BA and PM space. It's been a busy start to the year, especially in state work and health care space. So a lot of great roles coming up. As well as something that we've started to do as far as something I want to do for IIBA is resume review. A lot of people sometimes feel like the more you put on the resume, the more it attracts people. Kind of the opposite. So I'm going to be dropping my email as far as that goes in the chat. So anyone who like their resume reviewed, I'm happy to provide it as a service for your charge for any members that come through as well. But again, passing it back to Travis. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. This next slide, it shows our sponsors, which I had mentioned earlier in the meeting. Yeah, we're going to say they're definitely helpful for our chapter. You see Experience there, which Vu was talking about and which he works for. They help with meeting support as far as logistics and prizes. A couple of the other roles, ThinkDev and Apex Systems, they help with presentation content, so providing presenters or additional information regarding that. And then one of the new sponsors that we have received was Watermark Learning. So that is a company that develops/help develop the questions and the tests that are used to gain certification as far as business analysts, several of those certifications. So with that sponsorship, they've allowed us to use their website for our study groups to do practice tests, which is very useful and very helpful. And also with their sponsorship, and that'll be something that would be discussed when you join at one of the study groups, is there'd be a discount offered to the individuals so that they can go and practice on their own with the Watermark Learning website. So that's a fantastic sponsor as well. be sure to keep that in mind, especially if you're interested in joining the study group. This one, I think the next individual that we have coming up is Turab, who is the VP of Technology for our chapter. Turab?
Hello.
Hey.
Can you guys hear me and see me?
Yeah, I can.
All right. Well, I'm at the Golden One Center today. I have my son's performing at the in the band. They're going to do the national anthem. So
That's amazing.
it kind of coincided with this, but it's good that we have remote technology, right? So so I can come in here. Yeah, I've been kind of. Oh, sorry. Don't know what happened to my screen, but that's fine. I've
Oh,
been
that's
in
okay.
the IBA, associated with the IBA for a while now, and I have playing this role of kind of a created role of VP of Technology, which used to be more of a volunteer position, but now it is a VP position. So I thank IIBA for letting me do that, and I'm here to help kind of do a little bit on the website. It's not rocket science, but and then some coordination about emails and things like that on setting up the technology aspects of IIBA. So that's pretty much a role that I play here, and I'm happy to be here on board. And yeah, pass it on to whoever's next.
Awesome.
So now you're an
Thanks, Turab.
efficient volunteer. Volunteer.
Our next slide is our past president. So it doesn't look like he was able to join tonight, but Bob Guarino is the past president now that the co-presidency of me and him has ended last year. So he will still be involved with the board and providing some knowledge and expertise as far as how things would function and work. He has a lot of connections within IIBA. He had been president for 6 or 7 years, I possibly longer. It's hard for me to remember, but plenty of experience. So I'm glad that he is still sticking around with us as past president for one more year, just so that we can glean whatever additional knowledge we can off of him. From that, we are coming to board and shadowing opportunities. Let me see. So let's see. Tony, would you like to speak to that?
Yeah, sorry, I was having a hard time getting up with mute there. Um,
That's okay.
so you've seen some names on the board that have served for various terms. We do want to point out that we would very much welcome participation from other members of our group, of our chapter. That is not to say that for 2026 you would have a board role unless you happen to be interested in one. I know the secretary one that I gave up is open. But if you have any particular interest on any of the roles and you would like to shadow us, that would be a much lesser time commitment, and nevertheless an opportunity for anyone to become more versed in both what we do for the Sacramento chapter as well as the Western region. So if you have any particular interest, feel free to ping any of the board members and we'd be happy to connect with you.
I think maybe either Tony was done or he cut out a little bit. Um, as you see there in the middle of the page there, we are looking to find a replacement for our treasurer. Trish is looking to move on in her endeavors, so if there's anyone that could potentially take on that role and work with us, you would not be left alone. And Trish has made documentation as well as the previous treasurer. So it's not going into the darkness, but that would be fantastic. It's to quite an important role for us to have just for monetary communications and interactions.
Yeah, and this is Trish. I'll just add to that.
Hmm.
Besides the documentation, what I didn't want to have happen and why I brought it up now at the beginning of the year versus at the end of the year when we change over is if somebody's interested, then they can, we can work together and go through all the stuff that I kind of had to, um, some of it was more painful than others. It's not really difficult, but when, I was lacking some of the documentation that I hope that I put together correctly. So meaning that, sometimes you write your own instructions and you go back and try to follow your own instructions. I'm, that would be a great opportunity if somebody wanted to be treasurer, especially for next year's, as I would still be here for this year to go through all the different things because there are some filings we have to do besides reporting out every month to the board of the income we brought in and the expenses that we had. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there.
Yeah. Thanks, Trish. I appreciate your support on that. I would love somebody for somebody to join with you. Um, this next slide here is just about our website. So if you go to sacramento.iiba.org, these are the main menu items that you would find. There is About Us, which is talking about essentially what we've been providing to you tonight, and roles, bylaws. Definitely get involved, join us, whether it's joining in events, whether it's in-person events or online events, or joining the board. That is fantastic. All three of those are appreciated. Professional development that goes along with the lines of like the study groups and other options that IIBA Global actually offers. And they provide an assortment of things and gives you information about the different certifications and how you can get them, what you would need to get them, information like that. The events section will provide you kind of a calendar listing of what our next events are that are coming up. Right now, everything is kind of in flux for the most part, so not everything is etched out, and so they're not currently on the website, but keep an eye open because they will be put on there soon enough. And then there are careers, which will take you to IIBA Global site so that you could see some of the career offerings that are available on their site. Bylaws. So bylaws are what is the foundation of how our chapter functions and what we can and cannot do as far as running the chapter and being associate with IIBA Global. Our chapter has been changing and melding into like a different realm. And so this year, currently, we do not have a secretary position, which is also open if somebody would like to join. Um, and with that, we've realized that there were a couple small changes that should be made to the bylaws. One of them is that the bylaw asked for exactly 8 board members and listed all of the roles of those board members. And what the change that we are looking to make on that is saying up to 8 members. So it's allowing our chapter to have a board that is 8 or less. So that's definitely an important update that we need to make. The other update that we're looking to make is to state that each of the board member roles would be available and aids the other board members and the chapter as they can and as necessary. Previously, it was only specifying just a few roles, but we wanted to expand that so that all the board members can help each other instead of just a few people being able to help the rest of the board. Those are the updates that we are looking to make for this new version of the bylaws. Um, the updated bylaws will be posted to the webpage, and it's open for review and comments up until January 31st of this year. If there are no rejections, then the bylaws will be passed and they will be updated within our website. And those updated bylaws will also be sent to IIBA Global. Any comments or questions for that? Please go ahead and send an email to president@sacramento.iiba.org and everything can be discussed. Vu, can I have you come back up for just a minute?
Pinching it here. Perfect. Yeah. As I mentioned, there are a ton of roles right now within the market that we're seeing, beginning of the near year. I feel like a lot of people are reaching out for different positions. So again, have your resumes ready, prepped, and try to make yourself distinguished as much as possible. On the job board specifically at Experience IT, we have, I believe, 5 open BA positions. Two of them with a healthcare client. So, obviously anyone with Blue Shield experience is a plus. It's actually with a healthcare claims company. Main tech stack we're looking for is just a general solid BA, but someone who's worked in that healthcare claims experience, as well as having some Salesforce and health cloud experience. So we have 2 of those positions fully remote, contract long-term potential to hire. We also have 2 positions with a state agency that we're working with that will be nameless until you get picked if you're interested. But technical skill set for that one is obviously solid general BA. But the real kicker is we need someone with the state of California experience, specifically around something called PAL, or Project Approval Lifecycle. So that would be good with anyone with state experience. And we also have another permanent BA position coming up in our books. So very exciting space for us. Again, my resume is in the chat to do resume reviews, or if you want to learn about any of these roles, please do reach out. Would love to get you over to the client. And I see some messages coming through. Please go ahead and message me and I'll reach back out to you. Lynn, I see you there, so I'll give you a contact. But I turn the board back to you and anyone who else wants to mention some jobs.
Sure. All right. Let me see. I think next up is if there are any questions as far as what was presented tonight or anything that you're wondering about as far as our chapter or potentially international, please go ahead, throw them out. If you can verbally ask or do it through the chat, either way. I think I see that Lynn has a question.
Yeah, if it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, go for it.
Oh, it's it's been a really long time since I actually had a membership with you guys, but I'm gonna re-up. I think there's a really critical times for the business analyst role. We're in transition, the way I feel, in the advent of artificial intelligence inserted into many of the jobs and opportunities more slowly with the state, local and government, contracts, but wondering what is this specific chapter doing to help business analysts understand how they fit in this changing environment, and what they can do to prepare for those roles coming up. Specifically, and I believe it's really around the automation piece, the RPA work that analysts help to do, transitioning over to agentic AI, and helping to support everybody as we begin to grow in that direction.
Fair, fair. I see Tony's got his hand up.
Yeah, and apologies. I'm driving, so if you hear a little bit of background noise, first and foremost, thank you, Lynn, for the question, and welcome back. And it is, as you note, a terrific topic. I will say this is something that the worldwide, the international chapters are taking a long, hard look, and there's a handful of different meetings that are different presentations, I should say, that are happening within our chapters that we want to bring to our greater Sacramento group. Last year, we had at least 2, if not 3, presentations that were focused on AI. We can drop the YouTube channel link so you can start taking a look at those. But we do recognize that this moves very fast. I myself, I'm looking at this my day job with CVS Health, and from a BA and PM perspective, there's a lot of things that are going to change. I have heard the comment, I've heard the saying that it's not that we are going to be replaced by AI, but rather that somebody who has a good grasp of AI is going to be better positioned to fulfill the job of the future, independent of whether that is BA or any other. So I look forward to digging into that a little bit more. Drop me a line, send a note to the president at SacramentoIIBA.org, because I would love to pick up on that conversation in depth.
Okay. I mean, Antonio, you want me? Oh, thank you so much. Steve, is this the email? No, it's not. Don't forget, you guys, I just walked in the door. I haven't been in the house for a really long time.
It's okay. So the link that Steve put in there is a link to our YouTube channel.
Uh-huh.
And so almost all of the events, the online events that we've had, have been stored on YouTube. So some of those, which Tony is correct, there was at least 2, potentially 3 different events regarding AI and its interaction with business analysis. So that could be a great resource as well if you wanted to look into that.
Yeah.
Let me see.
And I did have, I mean, I'm actually laid off, like a lot of us. Doge kind of blew up my contracts with EY. So, which is, oh well. But at EY, they really did put us through the rigors of training. I took certifications around agentic AI, excuse me, what is it called? Applied AI, which is really around understanding use cases that certain models are good for resolving or helping to solve. And then, of course, the artificial intelligence understanding of safety and the guardrails. That's called responsible AI. And so I've taken those certifications at Ernst & Young and took a class at MIT on developing AI products and services. And really, it was a deep dive into the overall artificial intelligence structure, around the models and the architecture, and truly understanding how the A/B testing works, how I'm just going on and on. But my point is as I'm learning about all of this, I see where the analyst role, specifically, like if you're helping to support the technology teams around artificial intelligence development, you kind of got to know something about the A/B testing. You need to have an understanding of what prompt engineering is going to give you in terms of outcomes. And just that's the stuff that I'm looking for from this group, that I can connect with team members, other folks, start talking about it and getting it in my head so that when I go into my roles as an analyst, even though a lot of the government organizations are still a little bit suspicious and risk averse around artificial intelligence, we can at least take them from where they are and help them understand where they can possibly go. And that way the adoption effort continues. And eventually, I agree with you, it's not going to replace us, but we do have to know how to use it.
Very true.
Sorry, that was a lot.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's exactly on point though.
Okay.
Hey guys,
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to drop. This is Surab, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Tarab. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, bye bye. Have a good day. Good night.
You too.
Okay. Thank you. I'm now a member. I'm going to go on mute.
Um, yeah, real quick, Lynn, on what you're talking about. Yeah, there was definitely one presentation. Actually, I think it was by our director of our IIBA global director of of our region did a presentation with our chapter, and he went through it in a unique way by creating some slides through the use of AI and showing where the difference is and how and why AI would not take over like your job completely. Like that's not really the thing that's happening. And it's led more towards what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's fantastic. I would definitely suggest trying to go into the Sacramento YouTube channel and finding that one. I think it came out in September, October of last year. So
Okay, I'll take a look.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Excited.
And
Thank you.
yeah, and then I see that Tony put in the president's address email address in there. So if you wanted to grab that as well.
Yeah, and Lynn, I just shot you a text. I saw that you had put your phone number on the chat, so we will definitely talk.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, y'all are making me feel better now.
Good, good. That's what we want. Community. Let me see. I think the next slide is just a little bit of a wrap up. So we wanted to talk about like I think we've expressed how membership with IIBA is definitely a huge benefit because of the actual items that you can get from it, but also the community that it helps create within the BA realm. So that's why I've kept coming back to it. I've been part of it for 6 or 7 years now. And so, yeah, continue with that. And but the our board is definitely working and trying to get things done and set up events that are requested, topics that are asked about, and trying to get presenters that will come and speak to those. Another thing that we're trying to do more of this year is working with other chapters, which could grow our capabilities of having presenters do events that are more focused to what people are looking for. Um, Job shadowing, board shadowing, absolutely. Please come join us. We we're working hard, but we also need help. I did mention the study group that Diana will be leading beginning in the middle of April. More information about that will be on the website as well. We will post that up. Um, it's it's been always a great time. Like I haven't taken any of the tests yet, but I still have found the study groups to be useful for me. The last thing would be we'll be having an event on February 18th. Um, we will post what that is as soon as we can onto the website where you could go ahead and register for it. Um, and with that, we come to one of the fun parts, which is Steve, because everybody loves Steve because he rolls the raffles. No, just kidding. Steve is a great asset because he sets up our events and does all kinds of things in the background to help keep our chapter running. And Steve, could you come back on and handle the raffle for us?
Remind me what we're raffling today. Is it the
It's we're raffling the $20 gift card today.
Okay. Let me share my screen.
Yep. Let me stop.
Here we go. There we go. You know, when you can see the wheel of names.
I can see it now.
Okay. Here we go. One raffle prize. Oh, I'm just having fun with the Wheel of Names was a great tool. So,
I
all
love
right,
it.
try again.
Mm.
There we go. Joseph Tim.
All right. Congratulations, Joseph.
So we'll get that out to you in the next day or two via email.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Oh, you know what? I wanted to stop it. Let's leave that. That's okay.
Oops. And the last thing would be thank you for coming. Um, yeah, we appreciate everybody who showed up, and yeah, we hope to see you all again in events, in person, online, however. Thank you all. Have a great Wednesday night.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank
Yep.
you. Good night.